Okay, please take your cups and put them down. Now, please take your cups, put them down. We're going to be modeling how sedimentary rock is formed using these 5 processes. Wed cookie, weathering, erosion, deposition, compaction, and cementation. Edwin. Sit. Watch. That way I can show you what's expected of you and then we can do it together. You're going to need a space to write and then just a space to model. Our objective says, model and describe the process that led to the formation of sedimentary rock and fossil fuels. Today is sedimentary rock. You're modeling with your clay. You are going to be describing verbally with me and then writing it down. Now, the only way I can give you a copy of my notes and not make you do it by yourself is if you talk it out with me. Does that make sense? Okay? Here we go. I have colored modeling clay. I don't have enough of that to give to every single student. I have 62 students. I don't have enough colors to give to you. I'm going to be modeling it in color to show you the layers. You're going to be modeling it with your gray modeling clay. Okay? Before we start, what processes have to happen for sedimentary rock to form? Weathering. Erosion. Say deposition, compaction, and cementation. You guys have to know that it's not all the rock on Earth is weathered, and then it moves to erosion, and then it moves to deposition. Weathering, erosion, and deposition is all happening at the same time. Okay, Braylon, off your head. Follow your foot down. Sophia, looking at the board. It's all happening at the same time. Okay? It's not just one process happens and then it doesn't happen again. It's all happening at the same time like the water cycle. Okay? For example, I would like for you to get your modeling clay out and I would like for you to start making sediment pieces. Now this is how we make sediment pieces. You are weathering the rock by breaking it into smaller pieces. And I shouldn't say rock. You are weathering Earth's crust and things on the surface of the earth by breaking it down into smaller pieces. This is what you guys should be doing. You're just breaking it to smaller pieces. We're weathering Earth's crust. What are we doing?
Weathering Earth's crust.
Okay, I want you to say it with me. I am weathering Earth's crust.
I am weathering Earth's crust.
And creating sediment. By breaking Earth's crust. You shouldn't. It doesn't have feelings. Okay. Now that we have some sediment created and we just modeled weathering of Earth's crust, the breakdown into sediments or smaller pieces, the next process that has to happen is what? Erosion. And erosion is where Earth's sediment is taken away. Basically, it's either blown away by the wind, it's washed away by water, it's kicked up by animals, it's moved. It's taken away. So all you have to do is erode your sediment. Move it to a new location.
It's getting all pumped up.
It is. Okay, now when you stop the erosion process, that is when deposition happens. When either the wind stops blowing the sediment or the water, the sediment settles in the stream and it stops moving, that's when it is deposited. Okay? Because they're going to be. That's whenever it is deposited. Okay? So we just modeled erosion, which is moving the sediment, and deposition, which is taking the sediment and leaving it at a new location. Okay, so say it with me. We eroded the sediment by moving it to a new location and depositing it. Okay, so you guys just modeled weathering, erosion, and deposition. That's what it is. It's breaking of Earth's crust, taking of Earth's crust, taking the sediment and then dropping it in a new location, okay? Now, we're gonna do that process all over again. So I will be taking a different color to help show you. You're just taking more of your modeling clay and you're gonna begin weathering the rock or weathering Earth's surface again. You're creating more sediment.
Do we put it in the same pile?
Nope. Because you're weathering it, right? Erosion has not happened yet. Even though it does happen kind of all together in the real world, for our model sake, for you to understand this process, we're doing it separate. We are weathering Earth's crust. What are we doing? Okay. Okay, now that we have weathered more of the Earth's crust, what has to happen next? Erosion and deposition. It needs to be moved. Erosion is taking our sediment. The wind is blowing it away, okay? And then now it's dropped or deposited on top of our other sediment. So now I have two different layers. I have two different layers. No, you're not pumping it up. It's just settling. It's stopping moving, so it's depositing. Do you need me this one? You need my binder? You need my binder? It's over there. Okay, I'll be a while, Bob. Now that I have two layers, what is that bottom layer feeling?
Feeling pressure.
Feeling pressure. It's heavy, right? It's got another layer of sediment sitting on top of it. So it's feeling some pressure. So what's the next process that happens, y'all? That happens, weathering happens. But when you start feeling pressure, it starts compacting. It starts just pushing down a little bit on that bottom layer. It just starts pushing on that bottom layer a little bit. That bottom layer is compacting some. Now, don't forget, yeah, it's that little one. Don't forget, weathering is still happening, y'all. It didn't just stop. Weathering of Earth's crust is still happening while this compaction process is happening, okay? So look, we're creating some more sediment.
Is it so hard to keep it balanced?
You don't have to keep it balanced. It's not supposed to be perfect. Sedimentary rock is not a perfect uniform rock, right?
I'm doing some
Just
like
layers.
skinny, some rocky, and some like
Now that weathering process has happened, oh no, the wind is blowing or eroding, or the water is taking my sediment to a new place and now it's depositing and I have another layer on top. I have another layer that's formed.
So the bottom layer is feeling a lot more pressure.
So the bottom layer is feeling even more pressure, right? It's compacting even more. It's getting heavier and heavier. Do you need my signature? Okay. It's getting heavier and heavier through compaction because the layers of sediment is increasing.
It's all clumped together like it looks like a bunny.
Oh.
I don't know. How do you see it?
So where do I sign right here? Right here.
Your initials is fine. Either spot.
Okay. Is that just the only one?
That was the one that we said we were missing.
Mine looks like this one.
Now, what I would really like for you to do, since you have modeled weathering, erosion, and deposition, and even the beginning process of compaction, I would really like for you guys to write that in your first 4 steps. See right here where it says list the 5 steps to sedimentary rock? Well, you guys have just modeled the first 4. Weathering, erosion, deposition, and compaction. Can you write that for me?
Whoa.
We are. Remember, sedimentary rock isn't formed like that. It takes a long time. Thousands of years. But you've modeled weathering, remember breaking of Earth's crust? You've modeled erosion where it takes the sediment. You've modeled deposition by it depositing the sediment in a new location. And then the pressure of the layers is compacting the layers together. It's squishing the layers, okay? So you've modeled those so far.
I think I squished mine out a little too.
Levi, you need to write yours. You have not. Sedimentary rock is a hard rock that you cannot get the layers back out, which brings us up to the next process. The final process, okay? Now, this is feeling a lot of weight, okay? So what happens is that bottom layer starts getting really hot as this pressure grows and grows and grows. So you're putting a lot of pressure on it now. Really compact it. And when you really start compacting your rock, something happens way down deep in the earth. It is flattening out. All of the minerals that's in the sediment begin to liquefy. They start a process of changing from a solid mineral, solid sediment, to a liquid sediment because of the heat and the pressure that they feel. Listen, okay? That liquefaction of those minerals causes this rock to now glue together. It's literally cementing together way down deep in the earth, okay? It's cementing together, and that is the final process of that sedimentary rock. That final process is called cementation, okay? What is it called?
Cementation.
Now, that's the rocks or the sediments being glued together. If I were to try to pick that up and separate those sediments back out, I could not do it because they have formed a new rock. Okay?
Sedimentary rock.
No, I'm okay. Thank you. They have formed a new hard rock, which is sedimentary rock, through their layers.
Does that look good? It's cool when you flip it upside down. Does it look good?
Yeah. So if I tried to get this compacted rock up, it's not going to come apart to be the layers it originally was, because now it's a new rock with different layers, with different layers. And you guys can see my yellow, green, and white layers. Ooh, let me move it up. All from the side, and how it is one rock all cemented together. Okay? And you should have, it's okay if it breaks, you should have, remember, guys, y'all are modeling with clay. We are modeling it. We're not really creating sedimentary rock. Yeah, hey Levi, that looked like the video, right? That looks exactly like sediment.
Like my engine, I was modeling my engine.
You're modeling it. It's not real. It's a simulation. That way you understand the process happening, okay? You guys right now need to have these 5 things written. Weathering, erosion, deposition, compaction, and cementation is what you just modeled to create your sedimentary rock. Once you have these 5 things written down, what I'm going to need you to do now is I'm going to need you to take your modeling clay. I'm going to need you to roll it all back up into a ball. Put the lid tightly, put it inside your cup, and put the lid tightly on your cup. And then your managers are going to bring it back to me, okay? And then we're going to finish our lab notes on our sedimentary rock, and you're going to get to use these notes today on your exit ticket. Okay, managers, please start the process of bringing me back the cups and putting them back over here.
Look.